Hi, welcome to another AV Gives Back at Home. My name is Miss Kelly, and you are?
Isla.
And Isla, what grade are you on?
Third grade.
Third grade, okay. And who's your teacher?
Miss Bose.
Mrs. Bose. Okay, you know what? Today's AV Gives Back at Home is going to be a little bit different. We're not doing a scavenger hunt or a project because you were going to do that with your family between now and December 19th of this year. And we'll talk more about that later. But right now, we're going to read a book. This is called Speranza Sweater by Marcy Puzey, illustrated by Beatrice Mello. Mama, why do you keep this old sweater? It's a very special sweater, said Mama. Looks kind of plain to me. Come sit with me and I'll tell you a story. There once was a little girl about your age, but her home wasn't always a safe place. One day, a social worker came to her house to take her and her brother somewhere safe, along with a few special items. She brought her favorite sweater. The sweater? Sorta, Mama said, smiling. Keep listening, you'll see. The social worker took them to a home with people they didn't know. The people were called foster parents. They were nice, but the food was weird. What in the world is applesauce? She wondered. She didn't know about applesauce? No, sweetie, there were many things she'd never tried, said Mama. Speranza often looked forward to visiting her mom, but sometimes wanted to stay home and play instead. Her mom brought their favorite foods to the visits and promised to bring them home soon. So that's Speranza with her birth mom. Don't they get money to buy you new clothes? Her mom asked. I guess, but I still like this one, Speranza answered. Their foster family moved to a new state. The social worker found separate homes for Speranza and her brothers. Speranza wanted to hold them forever when she said goodbye. We'll visit soon, she told her little brothers. How do they feel being separated? Sad. Speranza lived with many different foster families. Sometimes she felt angry at her mom for not keeping her promises. Sometimes she missed her parents, even if they had fought a lot. And sometimes she daydreamed of a loving family who would make her their new daughter. Then she moved in with a new family. They did a lot of fun things together. Speranza was afraid to like them. She didn't want to feel sad when it was time to say goodbye. She played in the snow in the mountains. It was so much colder and harder than it looked on TV. And look, she's still wearing that sweater. They went to a family reunion. She liked pretending they were her family. She rubbed her cheeks sore from all the smiling. Speranza also visited her brothers. She couldn't help but smile to see them happy and laughing. But one day she told a lie and was caught. Her foster parents said, "We know telling the truth is scary. Lying isn't okay, but we love you no matter what. Telling us the truth lets us know how to support you." They didn't make her leave. She secretly took food from the fridge and ate it. She hid the rest in her hamper. They said, "Speranza, you can always ask for food when you're hungry because we always have enough." They still didn't make her leave. She still missed her mom and dad sometimes. She loved one set of parents and didn't stop loving the other. She loved both at the same time. One day her foster parents said, "We would like to adopt you. What do you think about that?" Her heart raced. Did she feel happy? Scared? Angry? Would her brothers still be her brothers if she were adopted? Would her mom think she didn't love her anymore? Would this mean she wouldn't have to move again? One day, Speranza and her family went to court. A judge asked if she wanted her foster mom and dad to be her parents forever. Yes, she said. Judge Cordoza asked her foster parents if they wanted her as their daughter forever. They said yes, too. The judge gave her a new birth certificate with her new name on it. Speranza couldn't decide which made her heart feel like bursting the most, having her own forever family or seeing her brothers get theirs too. As an adoption gift, her grandma made her a new sweater. She took her old sweater's yarn, there's her old sweater around her waist, and some new yarn. Speranza picked the color. It was a little big and wasn't used to being worn yet. She knew with time it would fit just right. It's kind of like her birth family, her remembering her birth family and her new family being woven together, huh? The blue and the yellow. And it did. Look, who's wearing it now?
Her son.
Her son. Do you like that book, Isla?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that book too. And it relates to this month's service project because we're going to be helping local foster youth and underserved children in the community. For lots of reasons, foster children need to spend time away from their birth parents. Sometimes they get foster parents like Speranza. And Isla, are they loved and cared for?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do they have everything they need?
Yeah.
Yeah, but how do you think they feel being in a new home with strangers?
Maybe scared or uncomfortable.
Yeah, and also, how do you think they feel sleeping in a bed they're not used to and eating food they're not used to, like applesauce, and possibly going to a school with classmates they don't know? How do you think they feel?
Scared and upset and confused because they could be confused because they don't know why their mother left them in the first place.
Yeah, well, there's lots of reasons why children end up in foster care. So it could be anything. But yeah, I think you're right. I think they're feeling lots of different types of emotions, right? And because there's a lot to adjust to when everything changes so quickly. Is that right? Yeah. And Speranza had two brothers too, and they got separated into different foster families at one point. How do you think they felt when that happened?
Maybe sad.
Sad. And I think, like you were saying before, it's a mix of a lot of emotions. They miss their birth parents, but can they also love their foster parents?
Mm-hmm.
So they can love two sets of parents. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And she misses her brothers, but can she also be happy that they're in loving homes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And do they still get to see each other?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And when Speranza was asked if she wanted to be adopted, do you remember what she was feeling?
Happy.
Happy was one of them.
Excited.
Excited?
Maybe a little bit sad because she's like sad or like happy because she gets to be in a new family, but sad because she will miss being in her old family with her old mom and dad and brothers.
That's right. So she had a mix of emotions. She was happy, but she was also a little scared because she didn't know if her birth mom would be upset. I don't think she would. And she didn't know if her brothers would still be her brothers. Would they still be her brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah, they will always be her brothers no matter what. Yeah. Which brings up a good question. Are all families made up of one mom, one dad, and one or more children?
No.
No. And do families have to match? Do they have to have the same skin color, the same hair color? Do they have to have the same culture, be the same height? No.
We don't have the same hair color.
We don't. That's right. Families are people who live together and love each other. That's it. There can be two moms. There can be two dads. There could be one mom, one dad. There could be one parent. They can look similar or different. There can be foster parents, adoptive parents. There can be aunts, uncles, grandparents.
Or there can be adoptive children too.
Adoptive children. And there could be one child or lots of children, and there could also be pets, right?
Kitty.
Kitties, doggies,
Corgi.
whatever.
Corgi.
Families are people who live together and love each other. That's it. Yes. And now getting back to foster youth, we read and talked about Speranza, who lived in a home, a house with foster parents. But sometimes foster youth live with lots of other foster kids in a great big home, a group home. And they share rooms. Probably, do you think they have bunk beds? If there's
Yeah.
lots of kids that have, yeah, they probably have bunk beds. They eat together in a big cafeteria. They go to school together. Yeah. And so just like Speranza, they are very well loved and cared for. They have every single thing they need.
No, and Mama.
Yeah.
They will probably also celebrate special days together.
Oh, I think someone's reading my script. Yes, and they celebrate special days together. Yes. But if there are lots of kids, like 60 kids living in a great big home, because it's a great big place. Do you think it's hard to celebrate all of their birthdays or get all of them presents for the holidays?
Yes, and
Yeah.
especially if their birthday's on leap year. I mean,
Yeah.
leap day. Leap
Yes.
day, leap year, leap day.
That's a very
something.
good point. Yes. So getting presents for 60 kids, that's a lot of kids. But are presents a necessity, Isla? Is this something you
No.
need to live? It's not a necessity, but are they really nice to get
Make them happy.
and brighten their day? Do you think it would brighten their day?
Mhm.
Yes. Okay. So for this month's AV Gives Back project, we're going to brighten the day of foster kids at Hillsides in Pasadena. That's one of those great big homes we were talking about, where lots of foster kids, 60 foster kids, ages 6 to 18, live together in this great big home. And we're going to buy them presents.
They will probably also act like brothers and sisters, even though they're not.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if they're living there for a long time. Okay, so AV Gives Back has partnered with the Dinosaur Farm. We know and love the Dinosaur Farm, right? We go there a lot. So this is what you can do with your family. This is our service project this month. Between now and December 19th, you can go to the Dinosaur Farm and pick out any present you want for any gender of child between the ages of about 5 and 18. And you can buy the gift and then you can put it unwrapped. Don't wrap the gift or ask them to wrap the gift because we need to know what it is. So buy the gift, put it in the collection bin unwrapped, and then Arroyo Vista will deliver it to Hillsides and other local kids with the need. And here is a scavenger hunt part. 1 second, where I share my screen. You're going to look for the AV Gives Back QR code. It's going to be on the collection box, so it's not that hard to find. And have your grown-up scan the QR code so you can get credit for doing your service project this month and collect Wildcat Adventure points for your classroom and be entered into a raffle to get your very own present this holiday season.
Which you probably won't need.
All right. Thank you for joining us today on our short AV Gives Back. Have fun picking out presents for children in need, and we'll see you next month.